Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations podcast. Reverend the Stewart Mrs. talking movies you feel recent. Hopefully that day of rest has served you well.
Yeah, work wasn't quite as late as I expected, but I was also in charge of cooking dinner that night, so yeah. But I've had some time to rest, and I think I feel a little bit more awake than I usually am. But yeah, the uh, the 19th is gonna be interesting because it's gonna be a special program for a high school graduation. It's like, yeah, memorial service, that's easy. A bunch of teens, oh god, why? I mean, thankfully, I believe we still have like a 10 o'clock cutoff time. But I figured if it's like anything like I imagine, I'll probably end up being there till like 11. Because like I also have to wait for like the music people to leave and all that, and like for stuff to get taken down and everything. It's like yeah, I might have to get some food delivered for my dinner that night. Anyway, so let's see what else. Eh, it's eh, it's been kind of a weird week. Like Monday, I went over to my aunt's house for like a for a wait, was that this week? Yeah, that was last Monday. Yeah, for a Memorial Day dinner. Like there went that day, and I was actually up to like 2 o'clock waiting for my roommates to get back from dealing with some family stuff. Tuesday, uh, oh right, Tuesday it was like 90 degrees. Let's face it, no one can really be all that productive in when it's 90 degrees. Also, I think I was doing. Did I do something on Tuesday? I wanted to say I did something on Tuesday. I don't remember. Anyway, Wednesday was normal, but like had to stay over at my aunt's house because I needed to help take the dog into to have her operation. Now, originally the plan was to stay over or Thursday night to, you know, pick her up on Friday morning, but turns out she didn't have to be picked up till like Friday afternoon. So obviously I was going to be at work, so I couldn't help. So I was able to go back to the apartment. Of course, Friday was a thing, and Saturday and all that, and yeah. I really today was a bit slow. It's like it was rough waking up and uh, oh yeah. So I checked the Everfree website. They actually put up their update. So like, oh hey, they are going to be doing the convention, but the guests will be there remotely, and they're not requiring vaccinations. But like, oh, if you have been vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask. And like apparently they put out a notification for signups for musicians a few days ago, but it's like, I imagine there still might probably possibly be like a cap for how many people can actually be in certain spaces and whatnot. So it's like I've I've made the decision to hold off for one more year, forever free,
Hmm.
just because it just feels kind of, eh, you know. But by next year, it should hopefully be all fine. I'm also kind of on the fence for my at least one of my November conventions, like Komoricon. Like it, yeah, it's at a convention center, so you can kind of tell that it be a decent number of people. Like it had like slightly over 9,000 back in 2018. So it's like, eh, we'll see how things are going by that point. Now my sci-fi convention, that one should be fine. That one's like a small convention, like no real crowds or anything. But yeah, it'll be another con light year. Eh,
Well, at least there's progress, given that I've been seeing people in the stands at sporting events starting to increase back to normal.
yeah, like I am a little disappointed, but still,
Again, at least it's progress.
yeah. Of course, like actually, I had my KamoriCon membership roll over into this year, so it's like, eh. I mean, eh. Like I said, I'll think about it, but at the very least, this will lighten the financial load for this year. Ugh. Yeah, it's funny. I was actually gonna. There was multiple plans for recording stuff for the thing today. At first, it was like, okay, gonna stream some Pokemon, but then it's like, well, they mentioned wanted to go shopping or something, so I didn't want to get too caught up in anything. And I actually didn't end up having lunch till like 3 o'clock. But yeah, so it got and like started pouring out. So like, okay, probably not gonna be doing any shopping. So like, okay, I could probably start recording soon. But then they decided like, oh yeah, like we need to pick something up from my aunt's house anyway. Why don't we go do that now? So it's like, okay, and it took them like an hour to actually be ready for that. So that was an hour wasted. Then we actually go, and it's like, okay, should be quick, but we stayed and chatted a bit, like, so actually it didn't get back until about 5 minutes before you started this call. So obviously I wasn't able to record because like my plan after like 6 o'clock, it's like, okay, not getting not getting my probably not gonna do like a proper streaming thing, but I could still probably record some Castlevania because that was decent. That was decently fun enough. So like record a bit of that, and we'll have some background footage. But yeah, that didn't quite pan out. Yeah, this would be so difficult if I could actually just be awake when I wake up. As it is, I don't really wake up till like mid afternoon. But anyway, that was my week and stuff. Oh yeah, the memorial service. We we had an estimate of like 200 people. We only had like 118. On the plus side, after like Wednesday, things have really started to cool down a bit. So yeah. Oh yeah, Tuesday. So like I mentioned, it was 90 degrees. 90 degrees on Tuesday. So we actually went out to Walmart, partly to do shopping, partly to get some fans. Now, first we're gonna actually, find the box fan. So it's like, okay, there's this. large metal fan for like $50. Like, okay, okay, I guess. My plan was like if there was a fan cheap enough, I'd buy one for myself. So we're on the way to the checkout and we see someone with the box fan. It's like, oh, where did you find those? Oh, over in F10. Like, oh, so here's a. They have a bunch of box fans. It's like $20, and they're purple, so it's like win-win. Instead of getting the large metal fan, we picked up two smaller box fans. One for my room, one for the other bedroom. So now we have three fans, and that really helped. Of course, the yesterday we actually turned the fans off because, like I said, it started cooling down. So it's like, why waste electricity? And but yeah, now we have them for when we need them because I imagine it'll probably start warming back up eventually.
Yeah, that's summer for you.
Yeah, summer's like my least favorite time of year because like at least with winter you can put more clothes on. If you try a similar solution for summer, they'll complain like, "Oh, why don't you have any clothes on?" and arrest you or something. But yeah, so yeah, that was my week.
I would honestly put it second most, mostly because you at least get vacation time. Not with a,
Fair.
but yeah, there are downsides.
Yeah, vacation time. It's like actually summer's like my second busiest time of the year. First busiest is December. Not even winter, just December. Because that's basically like working every weekend. So, how was your week?
At the very least, for the central 3 days, had to put put up with a bit of a bit of roof work. We actually had a crew this time.
Oh,
Placed a large bit on the driveway. We set up a bit of a sheltered canopy. In short, our driveway was pretty much occupied, and had to live live around the roof crawls and the pounding.
hmm.
They also had tarps in the back. They also had tarps in the backyard. Thankfully, the job took about the 3 days that I mentioned. They were gone. They were gone before Friday, which turned out to be turned out to be one of turned out to be another one of those call of the seas from my dad. So probably going to put up with that for at least a week. Shortly before all that, turns out we're playing apartment again for our relative. Better part of a month this time. Amusingly, I caught her in the middle of a bit of a gaming session. Kind of guessed it. Wondered if it was Warcraft, but it turned out to be Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that. It's like it's one of those things where it's like you have to have a solid chunk of time to invest into it, and yeah. I miss the days where where I just was able to like game all day and not really care about anything.
Some point during the time when I asked her about it, uh, she told me she told me a bit about she told me a bit about. I couldn't quite remember the title of it, but I think it started with a B. But it's in beta, and according to her description, the thing I could probably something I could, according to her description, what I could make of it sounded like Minecraft only without the blocks and the pixels.
Minecraft without blocks and the pixels. Huh.
All I could strangely remember, all I could remember was it started with a B, and it was in beta.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Susan, do a better job at that. Let's see. I think the last thing I could mention, something that I meant to talk about earlier. Added a new magazine to my subscription base.
Oh.
It's from the same It's from the same publisher, and It's from the same publisher, but it's been on a fuller scale. For years now, I've been a subscriber to Mall River magazine.
Hmm.
One of the things that the publishing company sent included some interesting supplementary material that I was interested in. So I wrote them a check, sent it in, and I've been getting Trains magazine ever since.
Nice.
And of course, it included a bit of that supplementary material.
Okay.
Most of the stuff in it is a compilation of previous articles from over the years. It had Steam on it, so I was hooked. And to further prove my point that the film industry benef- film industry benefited a bit from the mess that was last year. Some I read an article in one of the I read an article of one of the issues that some of the railroads have actually used the time as a plus to work on some projects, particularly track work.
Right. Eh,
All right, now it's on to the unfinished business.
yes. Last time on Gravity Falls. So there's Gideon summoned a triangle dude, went into Stan's mind. The group fat triangle man, and like okay, Gideon wasn't able to get the secret code to Stan's vault, which held the deed to the shack. So Gideon brute forced it and stole the deed anyway, and the group was kicked out. So yeah, that's where we left off. Like, uh, what, at least 2 months ago,
Let's see.
something like that.
Let's see. Playlist is here. Let me just.
Uh, anyway, so the episode begins with Dipper waking up from a horrible dream. He dreamt that Gideon had managed to get the DE to the shack, so they were forced to stay with Seuss's grandma. To which Seuss says, "That was no dream."
March 27th, so just over 2 months.
Yeah. Hold on a second. They keep rattling my door. So it's like, but are they trying to get my attention, or are they just messing with me? Because I mean, I know they were putting the I knew oh they were putting the oven on for dinner a while ago. So at some point I might have to leave for a little bit to get my lasagna. But anyway, so yeah, the group's not doing too well. Like, uh, so yeah, they're watching the TV and oh hey, it's the news. Yeah, getting now it's the mystery shack. What are you gonna do with it? Oh, I have big plans. I'm gonna have a thing tomorrow. Everyone come in, free admission with the Gideon pin. They're like, okay, they're trying to think, like, okay, what can we do? What can we do? Now, now, basically all of Mabel's ideas involve using the grappling hook. But Dipper points out, like, yeah, the grappling hook has never come in handy. It's like, there we have loaded the Chekhov's gun. We'll get back to that. So yeah, there's this big thing going on at the shack. Gideon's doing a little presentation to announce his plans for the shack. Meanwhile, the east four totally inconspicuous people in black trench coats show up. I have no idea who they could be, though I do know that one of them at least, is not Seuss. I can tell you that much. No, of course it's the group. Seuss has not Seuss written on a sticker or like it's taped to his hat. Seuss is wearing a fake beard, Mabel fake mustache. Look, they're disguised. So Gideon reveals that in place of the mystery shack, he shall build Gideon Land. It's like, oh, okay, so yeah, does the deed actually cover that much land, or yeah, that's one of the things I was wondering. Like, how much land does the deed actually cover, or is the deed just for the house, and like, or the shack? If so, did, how did he go about acquiring the extra land to for which to build this Gideon land? These are questions which will never be answered. Yeah, sometimes I think like about like the technical things like that, you know?
Thankfully, there's method behind the madness, is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, and he shows of the new mascot, and it's Waddles, and it is at this point that Mabel has had enough. So she charges to, up to the stage. The rest follow them, and they try to tell everyone that Gideon broke in and stole the deed, and that he should be arrested. But Gideon's like, "Oh, well, I mean, you gave me the deed. See, it's signed right here and everything." And of course, everyone just loves Gideon. So Gideon has his henchmen and toss them out, and yeah. So yeah, things are looking even more down, and then Wendy shows up and like, yeah. So without the job, I'm Dad's gonna have me work in this other place. Like, oh, like so Wendy will have to leave town. The conversation just lasts long, however, as Robbie shows up, boombox held above head, trying to get Wendy back. To which Wendy's response is, "Oh crap! If anyone asks, I was not here." And she leaves.
Couldn't help but wonder. Couldn't help but wonder if Hasbro sort of looked at this episode for some inspiration.
Yeah.
Because my mind immediately went to Featherbanks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Gideon Land. Whether or not you know this is Disney, or well, probably, or probably, well, I don't know, but either I don't know, but that's basically,
That's what they were going for. So the group reconvenes back at Seuss's grandma's place and like, darn, what can we do? How are we gonna manage this? Like, he has the shack. We don't have a place to stay anymore. Like, but what will Stan tell our parents? Stan's like, oh no, everything's good. I got this all under control.
shameless plug. That's what I was going for.
Yeah, but yeah, things are not good. Meanwhile, back with Gideon, he's going through the second book, and yeah, his dad shows up, asks what he's doing with the book. That like thought you'd be celebrating, but like, no, the books can like having the books equals power, good. Need the first book, and it's like, okay, so this book should hopefully lead to the other book. So back at the Seuss's grandma's place, Mabel and Seuss are playing with RC cars, but they don't have any batteries, so they kind of have to pretend like, vroom, vroom, vroom. Like, wait, oh my god, this is the mouse thing all over again. Did you intend that, or is that, kind of a coincidence?
I was.
Like the cars, huh?
I think what you were looking for. I think what you were looking for was slot cars, because one of the things that came to mind was Scalex Trek.
Uh, Slot cars. Uh, I haven't messed with those in at least 2 decades, so it's like the actual name didn't come to mind. But yeah, the car doesn't actually run, so it's like pretend and like vroom vroom vroom. It's like similar to what we discussed last week, except that was a motorcycle. I mean, eventually it was in like an ambulance, but motor vehicles. But yeah, they're messing around with that, and yeah, Stan has some bad news. Yeah, Gideon won. They don't have the shack. Stan can't take care of them anymore, so here are the bus tickets to go home. But Dipper ain't having any of this. Like, they are gonna find a way to get the deed back. And the solution to this is the grappling hook. And like, Mabel's like, oh, okay, the book. So they're going through the book, like, okay, what what is in here that we could make use of? And Mabel's like, oh, if only we had an army. Wait, army. And my mind went to this right before they mentioned it on the show. The gnomes. Going all the way back to episode 1. So they find one of the gnomes taking a squirrel bath in the middle of the forest. And like, hey, what are you doing here? Oh, crawling back, huh? But like, yeah, we need your help. And like, hey, we know this new bride for you guys called Gideon. Has nice white hair. It's like, ooh, okay, we're in for this plan. So back with Stan, he's at the diner and asked for basically the most inexpensive past the date apple cider they have, and he's being served by Seuss. Yeah, it turns out with the shack closed, he's had to take a bunch of part-time jobs, and yeah, this will be relevant later. So they have a moment. So Gideon's digging for the first journal, and he gets called out by ooh, sorry, stomach's a bit iffy right now. Kind of hungry. Hopefully it'll be solved soon. He gets called out by Dipper and Mabel, and basically gets the in where they go into the whole "you and what army" bit, and that's exactly the cue Mabel Dipper waited for, and they have the gnomes attack.
Only it's the more
Uh,
classic. Only it's the more classic note of, or else what?
yeah.
And speaking of which, I almost thought I was going to be the one going to be the one to note the callback, because I almost thought you were going to go for the joke. I have an Arby. We have blank.
Yeah, things are looking good. They have Gideon surrounded. Unfortunately, Gideon has a dog whistle, which also happens to work for gnomes. So yeah, Gideon controls the gnomes now, and he takes the journal and kicks them out. So yeah, like now Dipper's like, now what? What can we do? But Mabel's like, oh, don't worry, we can think of something. Yeah, but what? We next see them getting onto the side of Gravity Falls. Yeah, things are really not good. So back with Gideon, he charges into the house with the journal and puts it next to the second journal that he already had. It's like, okay, now with the first, but the third, there's three of them. Where's the first journal? Pines. So he gets it in his head like, oh, Dipper gave me the third journal, but kept the first for himself. So he goes outside, and throughout the episode, McGucket's been building this giant statue of Gideon outside. Well, now it's time to activate it. Yes, the giant statue is actually a giant robot. And it's controlled G Gundam style with a motion control suit.
I thought I was the only one to notice that.
The potential G Gundam reference? It's like,
Motion,
I can't think of.
motion capture.
Oh, motion capture. I can't think of any other or show that's done motion capture or giant robot control. Then again, I don't watch that many shows, so who knows?
I could recognize the suit.
Yeah,
I've seen enough behind the scenes material to get the idea.
yeah,
From Polar Express all the way to Tintin.
yeah. I was just thinking, like, oh, for this particular style of robot control, like, yeah, the motion capture suit with the things on it, like, yeah. So the robot charges off after the bus. Like he cannot have them leave Gravity Falls. He needs that journal. Meanwhile, with Stan, he's stuck watching infomercials, and we get a return of the L-Trowel. Like yay! But he starts getting static in his hearing aid again. That actually came up back when they charged the stage, and yeah, it's like what's the causing that static? And wait a minute, he looks at the Gideon pin that Gideon slapped on him earlier. Like, ooh, idea! And kisses Seuss's grandma and, and runs off. So back on the bus, Mabel wants to do like, ooh, let's check out what's underneath the bus seats. But Dipper's not feeling it. Like, ooh, there's a Canadian penny, piece of gum, old food stains, giant robot! Giant robot? Wait, what? Yeah, the Gideon bot is chasing after the bus. Like, bus driver, hurry, there's a giant robot chasing us. And the driver is Seuss. I said that to keep in mind his part-time jobs. So they're trying to escape the giant robot. They try getting the high ground, but unfortunately, the Gideon bot manages to climb up after it. And yeah, they're at a cliff now. So the Gideon bot rips open the top of the bus, but the kids ain't there. They actually got down to the rail bridge down below, but like Gideon sees them and jumps down after, and somehow didn't actually break the bridge.
Caught between a rock and a hard fall.
Yeah, I have to give the construction crew of that bridge credit, because wow, that is sturdy. So he corners against the dead end entrance, and and demands to know where the first journal is. Dipper has no clue what he's talking about. Like, dude, you took the only journal I had. But Gideon isn't having any of this, and grabs both Dipper and Mabel, one in each hand. And yeah, Gideon ends up tossing in Dipper back onto the cliff and marches off with with Mabel. And it's like, I'll find that journal and I'll rule this town, and Mabel will be my queen. And yeah, Gideon also tells the the sorry, brain is kind of going on slow mode right now.
No, we got a better precedent. The proof is in the pudding! And gunshot.
Yeah, yeah, Stipper that he's weak, he's dumb. Like, you're nothing without the journal. So as
Technically, that's reflection from earlier, but
the Gideon bot stomps off, Dipper starts walking into the forest. And then starts running towards the edge of the cliff and jumps into the Gideon bot uh, and tackles Gideon. They start fighting inside the giant robot with the Mecha Gideon mimicking Gideon's movements. Unfortunately,
stop hitting
after a
yourself.
point, what?
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah. Unfortunately, after the bridge can only take so much, and Mecha Gideon falls off the bridge with Dipper flying out of the robot and Mabel being freed from its grasp. But yeah, they're falling. This is not good. And oh no, the robot explodes. And oh no, what about the kids? Well, turns out they were saved by the grappling hook. And the Chekhov's gun has been fired. So yeah, Dipper gets the journal back, and yeah, people start flocking to the site of the explosion, and they're wondering what's going on. Oh, hey, it's Gideon. What happened, Gideon? The Pine, the Pine twins tried to attack me and blew up my robot with dynamite. So they're gonna arrest the kids, but in comes Stan with the big reveal. Turns out the whole Gideon is psychic thing. Well, he kicks open a loose bit of the robot, and inside is a whole bunch of screens showing all sorts of things from around town. Turns out the Gideon badges were secret cameras. Gideon is a fraud.
And the
So
And and I'm surprised this is the second encounter, right? Second encounter of real life controversy.
yeah, yeah, the townspeople are shocked and appalled. How could you?
Sorry, little
Oh,
guy. Look, sorry, little guy. You look into someone's privacy. That's just sick and wrong.
yeah. So Gideon is arrested for conspiracy and fraud, and for breaking their hearts. And as he's taken away to the back of the police car, Stan gets his deed back along with the second journal, and everything is good. The shack is rebuilt. People are flocking to it, and as the Pines twins reestablish themselves in their bedroom, Dipper decides to tell Stan about the journal he found in the forest. Now Stan's like, so that's where you're getting all these ideas. I'm just gonna take this. No, like, give it back, no. But Mabel tells him, like, don't you see, you didn't need the journal. But Dipper's like, yeah, still want it though. So as the day turns to night, we see Stan going to his to the secret behind the vending machine, and he walks down, goes down an elevator into a place with old computers, and he opens a compartment in a desk, and inside it is the first journal. That's right. Stan had Journal One this entire time, and he put and
Also, also, remember the first episode, that mysterious disappearance? We're good. Guess what? We got another callback to that.
bookends. But yeah, he puts the three books together on a specific page, which shows a diagram, and he works the machinery, and it's finally working. He goes inside a room, and this upside down triangle starts glowing. And as the episode ends, all he has to say is, "Here we go." And that's how season one of Gravity Falls ends. With a cliffhanger. Yeah, this was really good. Get, get a lot of payoff for the storylines that have been going so far, as well as bookending things. And oh yeah, that's like that's right. Mabel also got the grappling hook in the first episode, so it's been a Chekhov's gun since the very beginning, and finally served its purpose. Yeah, really good episode. Gideon was finally beaten, and yeah, I'm sure there's nothing else that could totally go wrong in Gravity Falls after this. Nothing wrong whatsoever. What's that? We have another 20 episodes? Oh crap. Yeah. But yeah, very entertaining. Comedy was on point. Much good.
I was going, I was going to say if you're, I was going to say if you are getting, I was going to say if you suddenly get more, if you suddenly get interest for this, if you're, look, if you want to get your audience interested for a second season, that's how you drop a tease.
Yeah.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, I do like that there is sort of a time skip. So
Yeah.
even though both episodes could still are still considered a two-part finale, you could still we could surprisingly still watch this decently enough with just one at a time.
Yeah. Hmm.
It wasn't like Ponies where it was just an immediate pause and then wait in some case wait in some cases either wait in some cases either a week or possibly a few minutes, and then we're back in.
Yeah. Yeesh.
At this point, definitely the equivalent of the Last Airbender cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Where the second season the second season is about to get more interesting.
Yep.
Our decodes this time around include Don't Need Him, Bill is Watching, Portal when completed will open a gateway to infinite new worlds and herald a new era in mankind's understanding of the universe. Plus, you will probably get girls to start talking to me finally.
Hmm.
Reverse the ciphers, and search for the blind eye.
I think my food's ready, so I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back. Just had to go get my lasagna and garlic bread.
Classics.
Yeah, it's a good way to end the season. Like, wraps things up, but leaves you wanting more.
And I just did another reference when it came to the statue robot. This one's going to be a bit.
Oh,
This one's going to be a tad bit obscure, though. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually had a child with them. Spy Fox some assembly required.
yeah. Nope.
Large childhood with humongous entertainment. Definitely my earliest experience when it comes to gaming.
Uh,
But basically, there's a large mechanical dog which looks to be a decoration piece for repair. When in actuality there is a large mechanical large mechanical system under large mechanical system, and the commissioner basically not getting his vengeance because he's too small.
mm,
Thankfully, thankfully with our assistant's title character might thankfully with our assistant's title character is able to lock him up. That is, if you're able to activate the extension.
right.
Another note I meant to say. Uh, writing getting writing getting it off as a writing getting it off as a fe- female, though it's plausible given the voice.
Yep.
Turns out that, and it turns out it's two, and it turns out it's two men. Oddly appropriate given the month.
Yep.
So yeah, nice wrap up. Good callbacks. Good teaser point. Can't wait for us to continue later this month.
Yep.
was. Let's see. To catch up on my critiques with the guest hosts. I'm a bit surprised they called in. Get surprised they called in. Get bit surprised they called Anderson Cooper a bit too soon. But he was good. Next was Ben Whitaker, I think. Yeah, it was Phil. He was good. This good. Captain. I think that was it. Ish. Whatever. Main Bale, like I think, has been the most recent one. She's doing fine.
Okay.
Dr. Oz also fine. I think as a favor might work. Okay, works. Former champ Buzzy Cohen was the tournament host. Been a decent lineup so far. Getting back to the sports thing that I mentioned earlier, Kester Epicenter is the four-time club in Indianapolis.
Oh.
Last year they brought a win to Fender against Sherlock, but also they ended up passing the Petty Enterprise record for all-time wins for team owners. Slightly fewer Mustangs out of 10s this time, but it was strong. We had him expending winning the Manhattan Stakes. And favored for the Derby of Central Quality managed to redeem himself at the Belmont Stakes. Followed close behind by Hot Rod and Hot Rod Charlie and Preakness winner Rombauer. No comment from Pinarto Prack on the possibility of returning from the Marvels. Christina Ricci coming to the Matrix 4. High 2 stirring in Dwayne Johnson's emergency contract. Jason Crawley to serve as production designer for the new Wonka film.
Oh.
And our ads Robert Evans into supporting role. Ironheart to reportedly begin filming in April.
Okay.
So we got some teases for Sandman, Umbrella Academy, and more over Geek Week.
Right.
Got lots of Avengers campus photos.
Oh yeah, I actually saw a thing or like they have like a Tony Stark Infinity Gauntlet cup holder thing or something like that. Like, cool.
Red Thunder reboot reportedly offering Sacha Baron Cohen key role opposites Hannah John Carmen.
Mm.
Seems there's a Corella sequel in the works with Craig and Tony expected to return.
They had they had that high hopes for it, huh? Uh,
Reactions are one thing. Apparently, it was a box office success.
yeah.
One of the big and one of the biggest, apparently one of the biggest praises is the punk rock aesthetic of the '70s.
Ah.
Let's see, out, let's see, out of the live, let's see, out of the live action reboots that I can see, here are the ones that, let's see, out of, let's see, only 2 out of the 6 listed on the actual article have are the only one are the only ones I know that have are the only ones I know that are the only ones I know that actually got sequels. Though given the track record, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a comparison point at some point.
Yeah. So these Sailor Moon Eternal movies are apparently now out on what was it, Netflix or Hulu or something. From the general reactions I've gotten reading the thread about it, it's so. Like, giving it props for actually following the manga's original story. But I've also pointed out that yeah, the original manga was very bare bones on character development. So yeah,
Hmm.
there's a reason why the '90s anime is so beloved. It's like yeah, it kind of strays from the original, but it actually gives time to develop the characters. It's one of those weird cases where the filler is a good thing. Also, squeezing an entire season's worth of content into 2 movies, like, I mean, on the plus side, you get a bigger animation budget, but on the other hand, you kind of have to cram everything into a smaller runtime.
Here's the big question: that or Dragon Ball Evolution?
Definitely Sailor Moon and Crystal and or Eternal, whatever, because at the very least, it has the excuse of it's actually following the original thing. Dragon Ball Evolution, like, what? Goku never went to school. Uh,
That answers that. All that, all that said without mentioning some touchy things certain people will possibly bring up.
yeah. But yeah, as far as the Sailor Moon stuff it goes, like, what I really want them to do is to uh, is to officially put out and translate the musicals. It's like, because I would buy those DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever. Like, come on, guys, who doesn't love a musical? Yes, there were actually Sailor Moon musicals. It was actually a long-running thing.
I was gonna say that's everyone versus Broadway.
Yeah.
The only best thing is to wait for your local theatrical troupe to actually attempt it.
Yeah. Actually, anime musicals aren't that rare of a thing, really. Wow, there was a Death Note musical. Huh. Of course, Pokemon. Persona 3 got a musical. Eh, yeah, it's definitely a thing that happens.
What If now confirmed for an August debut on Disney Plus.
Hmm.
Issa Rae cast as Spider-Woman for Spider-Verse 2.
Hmm.
Dina Shibali reportedly being eyed for a Moon Knight role.
Hmm.
Since we've got new teas of the characters for the live-action Borderlands film.
Oh.
To release Light Smooth, the one, for, one on the 7th, one on October 7th, 2022, pushed back a year. And the November 2023 release just pushed back a week. Oof, charges against Drake Bell. Disability matter harmful to juveniles attempted youthful endangerment. bit of an odd one, but Finnack are open to return if JJ and Kath are involved.
All right.
Might be getting the Keaton suit in Flash.
Yeah.
Pfeiffer shared a training video whilst preparing for the Quantum Realm.
Hmm.
First wave of Shang-Chi pop vinyls.
Okay.
Elaine Bone Todo serving as production designer for Rogue Squadron.
Hmm.
Gideon again to play an old friend of John Wick.
Ooh.
Here's one thing I can get out of that Paw Patrol trailer. At least I know who. At least I know who's involved in distribution.
Yep.
Boy, if Viacom's gonna have a field day when YouTube stuff starts getting up. Another one from Boyega. Exited Rebel Ridge due to family reasons. Production paused while Netflix works to find a replacement. I get the feeling this American motion picture is gonna be closest thing to a Dynasty Warriors film adaptation.
Yeah.
In the tone they're going for, at least. Jodie Turner-Smith talks alongside Driver and Gerwig for White Nose.
Hmm.
apparently they're keeping a major blockbuster premiere for the Cannes Film Festival secret.
Hmm.
All it says is not Dune.
Okay.
Another driver headliner, Annette, to also premiere. Jupiter's Legacy not getting a second season. Moving on to Supercrooks.
Hmm.
Filming on 85 to begin this week in the UK.
Hmm.
It's been funny though. I saw this tweet discussing about it, and for some reason they thought Nazis were coming back,
Ah.
even though they also speculated a 70s setting. And with that, it was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's something else that might fit the time frame.
Right.
Seems the full Conjuring trilogy is going to be on HBO Max, including the latest one.
Hmm.
Alright, so let's think of their point in the lineup for this month on Netflix. Love and Thunder is fresh filming, so just under a year of production to go. Just under a year of production to go for release.
Yep.
Release date for the Seth Rogen Ninja Turtles, August 11th, 23.
Hmm.
And it seems the co-director of Mitchell's vs. Machines is involved.
Ah.
Name and logo for the Warner Discovery joint venture revealed.
Hmm.
Michael Douglas traveling to the UK to begin Quantum Mania filming.
Oh.
Mortal Kombat top asset on HBO Max. Brent Wilson Brent Wilson did not expect it to do well as it did.
Hmm.
Days to the iCarly premiere. Seems there's a plan to next Spider-Man with the SPUMC movies.
Hmm.
Expect more to be revealed in No Way Home.
Oh. Oh, the picture's looking nice. A bit different than usual, but yeah.
Got a few finishing touches to make once I'm through the final goodbyes list for this week.
Hmm.
Just into the Squires for some sticker research. Oof. Same fate as Adam Petty.
Ooh.
Demarest Haven. She was in Doctor Who at one point.
Hmm.
F. Lee Bailey, attorney of the Shepherd and Simpson trials.
Hmm.
Richard Robertson, President, CEO of Scholastic Corporation since '75. A bit this year this time about.
So.
Right. So, not sure what comes out in terms of next week in terms of visuals. But looking forward to see how the feline team will be up to.
Yep.
Until which, stay safe, stay well, and we will hopefully see you next week. Take care.